So let's just go ahead and rip the bandage off, Bears fans, because the elephant in the room has officially grown too big to ignore. It's July. Training camp is right around the corner, and three of the Bears' biggest rookie investments, Luther Burden III, AZ Trapillo, and Shamar Turner, have not yet signed their rookie contracts, and while on the surface that sounds like a minor paperwork hiccup, what we're actually witnessing is a league-wide Mexican standoff over guaranteed money that has quietly turned second-round picks into the NFL's most contentious currency, and if you're not paying attention, you might assume the Bears are slow playing or dragging their feet. But that would be wrong, because this issue isn't exclusive to Chicago. It's systemic, it's strategic, and it's about leverage more than laziness. And if you zoom out just a bit, you'll realize only 2 of the NFL's 32 second-round picks across the league have actually signed so far, and that's not random. That's a coordinated push from agents who've circled this round of the draft like a territory that still hasn't been fully conquered, demanding all 4 years be guaranteed, just like the first round. And the Bears, who didn't even have a second-round pick last year, are suddenly caught in a high-stakes negotiation theater where each delay is costing reps and each unclosed deal carries the risk of stunting development before it even begins. And let's be honest, this stuff matters because contracts affect attendance. Attendance affects reps, reps affect development, and development affects wins. Plain and simple. And now the Bears are looking at a clock that's ticking with louder and louder intensity as July 19th looms. And while most fans want to write this off as a simple delay, the football nerds among us know that rookies who miss valuable install reps in July often spend the entire season playing catch-up. So let's dig into this. Let's analyze what this holdup actually means not just for the money, but for the on-field outcomes, starting with the headliner, Luther Burden III. A wide receiver so gifted in the open field that defenders basically enter witness protection once he gets the ball in space. And yet, there's a reason a guy with top 15 tape fell into the second round, and if you believe the smoke, it's not about the skill. It's about maturity, football love, coachability, all those unquantifiable traits that GMs whisper about in closed rooms but never admit publicly, and here's where it gets fun. Because if Burden clicks, if he gets the mental part right and adapts to Ben Johnson's system quickly, he's going to be hell for defensive coordinators, a nightmare hybrid of DJ Moore and Deebo Samuel with the twitchiness of a video game avatar and the raw electricity to house a slant route with nothing but daylight between him and the pylon. And if that happens, if he becomes that dude, then you can start preparing your goodbye letters to DJ Moore, whose contract becomes a lot more expendable in 2026. Because Burden plus Odunze plus Caleb is a WR core that's cheap, young, and terrifying. But now let's turn the dial the other way. What if Burden doesn't pick up the offense fast? What if those whispers were onto something? What if he freelances routes, misses timing windows, or struggles to earn Caleb's trust? Because remember, the guy's already missed OTAs and minicamp, and this offense is known to be complex, layered, timing-based. It's not run fast, catch ball. And when rookies are behind in July, they're often invisible in October. And the Bears can't afford that right now because this team is built around the rocket launch of Caleb Williams. And wide receiver is the position where chemistry is everything. So if Burden isn't clicking early, don't be shocked if Tyler Scott, Zacchaeus, or even Velus Jones, yes, that Velus, are getting more meaningful snaps early in the year. And suddenly we're in a weird spot where the WR2 of the future is WR5 in the present, and that's not ideal. But here's the nuance. Burden's talent is too loud to stay buried for long, and while he may have a learning curve in the first half of the season, there's every chance that by December, he's turning 5-yard passes into 50-yard touchdowns and looking like a rising star in the NFC North, which brings us now to AZ Trapillo, the mountain of a man at left tackle who might be the most consequential rookie on the roster, not because he's flashy, but because protecting Caleb's blindside is job number 1 in this offense, and the calculus here is clear. If Trapillo is ready to go week 1, that's a win. If he's not, then the Bears are rolling the dice on Braxton Jones again, a guy who has quietly been steady, but not spectacular. And the best-case scenario for Trapillo is beautifully straightforward. He wins the job outright, anchors the left side, and shows that his pass-pro-first profile is exactly what Ben Johnson wanted to complement an offense built around explosive vertical concepts and timing throws. And if Trapillo turns out to be the real deal, then the Bears will have locked down one of the game's most premium positions for 4 years on a rookie contract. And that's gold in this league. But let's not get carried away just yet, because Trapillo's footwork still needs polish, and if he can't anchor against power or gets beaten by speed in the preseason, he might be holding a clipboard by week 1 while Jones and Amagaji rotate snaps. And that scenario is a little scary, because it means not only did you spend a second-round pick on a bench piece, but Caleb's blindside protection hinges on a less dynamic option and a third-rounder with raw technique, not the setup you want when your franchise QB is trying to navigate year 1. So Trapillo is less of a luxury pick and more of a necessity who has to hit. And that brings us to the final member of our contract delay trio, Shamar Turner, who's probably the biggest mystery box of the entire rookie class, because the guy has the body of an NFL pass rusher, the movement skills of an interior disruptor, and the resume of a tweener who never quite found his home in college. So when the Bears drafted him, the question wasn't about talent, it was about fit, and the plan is to start him at 3 tech, the heart of this defensive front, and the best-case scenario is that Turner becomes a rotational interior force who can collapse pockets, take pressure off Montez Sweat, and maybe even push Grady Jarrett out of the rotation by season's end. But the worst case is a little more complicated, because if Turner doesn't develop technique quickly, if he gets caught between positions, or if he can't stay healthy, then you've essentially spent a day 2 pick on a long-term project in a year when you needed plug-and-play contributions, and while no one's asking him to become Aaron Donald overnight, it's fair to expect him to beat out guys like Gervin Dexter and Zach Pickens for reps by mid-season. And that'll only happen if he masters pad level, learns hand placement, and can execute consistently against NFL-caliber interior linemen, which is no small task, even for SEC standouts. And here's the deeper issue. If Burden, Trapillo, and Turner all show up late because of this contract standoff and each of them starts slowly, then what you're really looking at is a slow drip of unrealized potential that delays the Caleb Williams project by a full season. Because remember, the Bears' Super Bowl window doesn't begin in 2028, it starts now, while Caleb's contract is still dirt cheap and you can stack talent around him. And if these rookies can't contribute early, then the whole acceleration plan slows down, and suddenly your surprise playoff contender narrative starts looking more like a 6-11 learning year, which isn't a disaster, but it is a missed opportunity. And now let's talk brass tacks. What's likely to happen? The odds are these deals get signed before the 19th, maybe even the week before. And nobody misses a full practice, and we're all laughing about this come September. But the longer the silence continues, the more this shifts from standard delay to concerning trend. And while fans can brush it off, coaches and GMs know exactly what it means when a rookie misses even a handful of install days in July. It means fewer reps, slower learning curves, and greater odds of being behind the guy ahead of you. And that's why this isn't just about money, it's about momentum, and the Bears need all 3 of these rookies to contribute meaningfully in 2025 if they want to fast-track their rebuild into something real.